Hey there! Ready to fuel your mind in just minutes a day? Join me on Brain Boosts by Max16RN on YouTube for quick, powerful facts, tips, and ideas to keep your brain sharp, inspired, and informed. Hit that subscribe button and let's boost your brain together.
Every great oak tree was once a tiny acorn. It didn't just appear in the forest, towering over everything else. It started small, buried in the dirt, and had to push its way up toward the sun. This is a simple truth we often forget when we look at people who have achieved great things. We see the final product, the strong and magnificent tree. We marvel at its height and its branches. We don't see the long, slow, and often difficult journey it took to get there. We forget the years of quiet growth, the storms it had to weather, the resilience it needed to keep reaching for the light. Day after day, season after season, think about someone you admire, a brilliant scientist, a world-class athlete, a captivating artist, a successful entrepreneur. It's easy to believe they were born with a special gift. We tell ourselves stories that they were simply destined for greatness from the very beginning. But this way of thinking is a trap. It makes their success seem unattainable, like a distant star we can only look at but never touch. The reality is far more hopeful and more human. Every single master in every single field started at the exact same place, the beginning. They were once a beginner, just like you. The journey from beginner to master is not a sprint. It is a marathon. No one is born an expert. This is a fundamental truth of the human experience. Imagine a baby learning to walk. They don't just stand up one day and start running. They stumble, they crawl, they pull themselves up, and they fall down hundreds of times. Each fall is not a failure. It is a lesson. It's their brain and body learning about balance, gravity, and coordination. We celebrate these first clumsy steps. We cheer them on. We don't scold them for not getting it right immediately. We understand instinctively that this is how learning works. It is a messy, repetitive, and ultimately triumphant process. This same principle applies to every skill you can possibly imagine: playing the guitar, writing code, performing surgery. Every virtuoso guitarist once fumbled with the strings, their fingers sore and their chords sounding clunky and wrong. Every brilliant programmer once stared at a blank screen, confused by syntax errors and code that just wouldn't run. They all shared a common starting point, a place of not knowing. When we read a book, we see the final, polished story. We don't see the countless drafts. We don't see the deleted scenes. We don't see the crumpled up pages. We don't see the moments of writer's block. We see the finished product, and it seems so perfect and inevitable. The stories of successful people are often presented to us in the same way. We hear about their dazzling achievements. We hear about their awards. We hear about their breakthroughs. We get the highlight reel, the condensed version. All the struggle has been edited out. All the doubt has been edited out. All the tedious work has been edited out. This gives us a distorted picture of what it really takes to succeed. The truth is, every success story is filled with unseen chapters of failure and of persistence. These are the chapters where the main character is not winning. They are struggling. They are making mistakes. They are facing rejection. Think of an iceberg. We only see the small part visible above the water. That's the success. But beneath the surface is the massive foundation of ice that supports it all. That hidden part is the hard work. That hidden part is the discipline. That hidden part is the persistence. One of the most beloved creators of the 20th century was a man who, in his early years, seemed destined for anything but success. His name was Walt Disney. Today, his name is synonymous with magic imagination and a global entertainment empire. But his journey started with a series of rejections and failures that would have caused most people to give up entirely. He was not an overnight success. His path was paved with obstacles that tested his resolve at every single turn. He was a perfect example of someone whose passion was met with constant resistance from the outside world. Early in his career, Walt was fired from a newspaper because his editor told him he lacked imagination and had no good ideas. Imagine hearing those words. For someone whose entire dream was built on imagination, this could have been a crushing blow. He then started his first animation studio called Laugh-O-Gram Studio in Kansas City. The company produced a series of cartoons, but it ultimately went bankrupt. He was left with nothing. He was so poor at one point that he was reportedly eating dog food to survive. He was a failed cartoonist with a string of bad luck. But Walt had something more powerful than early success. He had grit. Imagine you have a story in your heart, a story so vivid and real that you must share it with the world. You spend years pouring your soul onto the page, creating characters that feel like family, and a world that feels like home. You finish your manuscript full of hope, and you send it out to publishers. And then, the rejection letters start coming in. One after another, they pile up. Not just one or two, but a dozen. 12 different publishers tell you, not good enough that it won't sell, that you should probably try something else. This is the true story of J.K. Rowling. Before she became one of the most successful authors, she was a single mother living on government assistance. She wrote the first Harry Potter book in cafes, scribbling on napkins and scraps of paper whenever she could. The idea of becoming a celebrated author must have seemed like a distant fantasy. Her reality was a stack of rejection letters and the constant nagging doubt that maybe, just maybe, all those publishers were right. It is that her belief in her story was stronger than her fear of failure, and it was her enthusiastic reaction that sealed the deal. No one could have predicted the global phenomenon that was to come. In the world of sports, we often celebrate the game-winning shot, the final goal, the triumphant moment of victory. We see the athlete at their peak, executing a flawless move under immense pressure. We see Michael Jordan soaring through the air for a dunk. We think of him as the greatest basketball player of all time, a symbol of consistent excellence. We assume he was just born to win, that every ball he touched was destined for the net. But this perception completely ignores the reality of his journey and the mindset that truly made him great. Michael Jordan himself has been very open about the role of failure in his success. In a famous commercial, he once said, "I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed." His journey began with a significant setback. As a sophomore in high school, he was famously cut from the varsity basketball team. He was deemed not good enough. He went home, locked himself in his room, and cried. This moment could have been the end of his basketball dream. Instead, he used that pain and disappointment to ignite a fire within him. Why do some people succeed where others, with equal or even greater initial talent, fail? The answer often comes down to a simple yet profound quality: the ability to stick with it. It's the decision to continue when things get boring, frustrating, difficult. This is the core of grit. It's not about intensity, it's about stamina. It's not about how hard you can work on your best day, but about your ability to show up and put in the effort on your worst day. Think about learning a musical instrument. The first few weeks can be exciting. You learn a few simple notes, a basic chord progression, but soon you hit a plateau. Progress slows down. Your fingers hurt. The songs you want to play seem impossibly complex. This is the critical juncture where most people quit. They lose their initial enthusiasm because the novelty has worn off and the hard, repetitive work has begun. This is the moment where the real journey to mastery starts, and it's a journey that many people choose not to take. The stories of Walt Disney, J.K. Rowling, and Michael Jordan are not just tales about famous people. They are mirrors. They reflect a universal truth about the human potential that lies within each and every one of us. Their journeys show us that greatness is not a matter of destiny, but a matter of decision. It is the decision to start, the decision to learn from failure, the decision to persevere when the world tells you to stop. Their paths were unique, but the underlying principles, passion and perseverance, are available to all. You have your own path to walk, your own skills to develop, your long-term goals to pursue. There will be times when you feel like a beginner, clumsy, uncertain. There will be times you feel stuck in the messy middle with progress nowhere in sight. The struggle is not your weakness. It is the price of admission for something worthwhile. These small, consistent actions are the building blocks of mastery. Hold on to your passion like a compass that guides you through the darkest woods. The journey is long, but you are capable of traveling it. So keep going. Your own story of mastery is waiting to be written. Start writing it today.